In this video, we're going to look closely at demonstrations and how they influence change to the law. When discussing demonstrations, you need to do two things well. First, you need a substantial definition of what a demonstration is, and second, you need to be able to evaluate demonstrations, using an example to help explain your argument. Here's a good definition. A demonstration is an event in which a group of people gather to show support for a change in the law. There are two key bits of information here. The first is that a group of people gather, and the second is that they are showing support for a change in the law. You need to include both of these bits of information to have a full definition of demonstrations. Now let's evaluate a demonstration. To help me look at both the strengths and weaknesses of demonstrations, let's welcome Michaela. Let's talk demonstrations. I think that demonstrations can be really effective when they're done well. If a lot of people attend a demonstration, it physically shows that there's a lot of support for an issue.
Yeah, but if not many people turn out to demonstrate it wouldn't really help the cause.
That's true, Mick. Demonstrations need a lot of people present to show real support for an issue. If they do have a lot of people, they can get a lot of media attention. This means that issues can spark discussions amongst the whole country. Do you remember the March in May demonstrations in 2014? Tens of thousands of people across the country protested against the federal government's policies. Footage of the marches was broadcast across the country. It got people talking.
Didn't those marches just show that a demonstration is ineffective when the message is confusing? They were protesting the government's policies on healthcare, education, welfare, marriage laws, and even more. How could the government make any changes if they didn't really know which ideas had the most support?
But surely the protests showed that there were a lot of people unhappy with the government. The government heard them. Anyway, isn't any publicity for an issue a good thing?
Not all the time. Some protests can turn violent. 13 people were arrested at the Sydney March in May protest. The government won't seriously consider changing a law if the protesters were violent. They don't want to look like they respond to violence.
Good point. Thanks for your help, Mick. In the end, it's up to you to look at both the positives and the negatives and decide whether or not demonstrations are effective at influencing change in the law. Thanks for watching and happy studying.